welcome back to Nightline. I hope you've been enjoying the program. I'm your host, Dante, and man, that first hour flew by. I mean, time just flies when you're having fun, but man, I learned a lot, and I got a real blessing out of Pastor Titus from Tanzania, and I hope you did too. Of course, I've been enjoying the music of Karl Gessler, and he's going to be doing some more songs this hour and coming over here and talking to us about what God's doing in his life. But we still have prayer partners back there, and they're still waiting on you to call. So go to the phones, 244-1616. Of course, we're live streaming right now on Facebook and on our website, WGTS16.com, or on dubbroadcasting.com. All kind of takes you to the same place, so check that out as well. And tell your friends and family about us out of town maybe, or maybe they're out of country. In fact, Pastor, you can watch us in Tanzania, streaming live. I'll tell you what, that's an awesome thing. So anyway, Carl's going to be doing a couple of songs, and then we're going to get to know him a little bit better. Of course, he's been here 3 or 4 or 5 times now, something like that. Three times. So awesome. So Carl's standing by. He's going to be singing "Oh, the Deep, Deep Love and the Promises of God." Take it away, Karl.
with your powerful hand, lead us into the land of Canaan, and in your wonderful might, lead us out of the night of Egypt. We look for the promises of God. We look for the promises of our God. Let your sons and your daughters prophesy. Tell the glory of our God on high. Heal the sick and raise the dead alive as we speak the name of Jesus Christ. We look for the promises of God. We look for the promises of our God. We look for the promises of God. We look for the promises of our God. 'Cause Christ came, overcame, eternally reigns, to the glory of our God and King. Christ breathes, intercedes, all our praise receives, to the glory of our God and King. To the glory of our God and King. To the glory of our God and King. May your wonders never cease. May your glory still increase. May your wonders never cease. May your glory still increase. Ah. Sons and your daughters prophesy. Tell the glory of our God on high. Heal the sick and raise the dead alive as we speak the name of Jesus Christ. We look for the promises of God. We look for the promises of our God. We look for the promises of God. We look for the promises of our God. 'Cause Christ came, overcame, eternally reigns, to the glory of our God and King. Christ breathes, intercedes, all our praise receives, to the glory of our God and King. To the glory of our God and King. To the glory of our God and King.
Awesome, and you saw the CD cover there with all the family, and so check it out, KarlGessler.com, and man, get you an album. He's just up in Hendersonville, so have him come on down to your church, and I'm going to have him come on down to over here to Talk Set. Good to see you, Karl.
Hey, Dante, good to see you back.
I'm glad to have you, man. Yeah. Glad to have you. Now, last time you were here, you brought the family, And I saw a new instrument that I had never seen. I think your son was playing about, how old was he, 3 or 4 or so? Playing the banjo-lele.
Yeah, I forget how long it's been. He was 7 or 8, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I remember I was like, man, that looks like a banjo and a ukulele. And you're like, it's called a banjo-lele.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
it blew my mind, man. And I didn't know, or maybe I did, but I can't remember. I didn't know you played the piano so wonderfully, too.
Well, thank you. It's been a practice in secret for many years.
Wow.
But Keith Green is a childhood hero of mine, so I've always wanted to.
Well, the secret's out now.
I guess so. I'm trying.
Doing a good job. How many instruments do you play between, well, first you and then between you and your family? Y'all got it. The bass is pretty much loaded.
Yeah, we have a full entourage now. But I mean, personally, I can play the drums, piano, and guitar sufficiently.
Wow.
But and that's not actually anything I ever anticipated doing. I was not like a born musician. It was more just something birthed out of worship, and then like, hey, I like doing this now, you know. But with my kids, we've got my 8-year-old daughter's playing the violin. My 9-year-old plays the keyboard, and he can play the banjolele. Our 6-year-old is drumming, and he has really come a long way in the past few months. And then the 4- and 2-year-old sing.
That's
so
awesome.
We're yet to find their niche, but
yeah, they'll find it.
But we are expanding.
Yeah.
Because my wife is expecting baby number 6. So.
Baby number 6.
It's one of the reasons they're not here today. Just giving her a little break.
Yeah. And she's due when?
She's due in November.
In November this year. That's exciting.
So.
Another little musician coming out, man.
Worshiper, yes.
Yeah, that is awesome, man.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, tell us, it's been a couple of months, maybe a year or something since you've been here last. What's God doing in your life besides expanding your family? That's exciting.
Yeah, well, we've been in full-time ministry now for getting close to a year and a half. Wow. And we traveled thousands of miles last year. I don't know how many. Yeah. But in November we took a break. We've been home for the past 6 months, just staying regional, still doing lots of ministry. My wife and I do a podcast as well.
Wow.
About the gospel, and so we've been doing that. But we're getting ready in June to do another cross-country trip. So we've been to 47 of the 50 United States in the past 10 years. And this year...
I was going to ask where all you went. I think it'd be quicker to ask where all you didn't go.
Yeah,
so what's those 3 states?
We're going to hit South Dakota, which will be number 48. And Lord willing, we're going to go to Alaska. Okay. So we're working on that right now, and I believe that we will end up there.
Yeah. And what was the 50th? Hawaii?
Hawaii, yeah.
Well, man, y'all fit right in with that banjolele in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, that's
it's
awesome.
hard to tell people we're going on a mission trip to Hawaii. They just don't really
it's
believe
just hard.
you.
You know, you just need to have Michael, you say, we're going to Tanzania. You know? We were talking about before the show, and you said you were scared about going to Africa or something about, maybe the viruses and all, but I told you, I did get sick in Bulgaria one time, so that's something. But Hawaii, I don't think you can drink the water there.
Yeah,
so.
Well, obviously I fear more getting sick than I fear getting lost.
Yeah,
so.
That's awesome. Well, now, did you make it into Canada last year?
We have been through Canada just briefly, but we haven't done any ministry there. We just drove through it. So
that's still amazing. 47 states that you've ministered in now.
Yeah,
that's awesome. What's your favorite region to go into in the U.S.?
America is beautiful. It's an amazing, huge country, and pretty much anywhere you go, there are beautiful places. And there's much. You think of kind of the deep south as being like flat and hot, but there's a lot of variation. That's cool. But our favorite place to be is where we see the love of Jesus, like where we experience it with the people we encounter, and where Jesus is coming through us. And it kind of doesn't matter where you are. That's the best place to be. But if I had my choice, Asheville, North Carolina, where I live, right at home. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's beautiful. Yeah.
I've heard it say that people talk about where all they've been and how much they loved it. But the thing is, if they loved it that much, they'd move there. The most beautiful and loveliest place I can imagine is my home.
Right.
All the places I've been, I'm ready to get home after a while.
Yeah.
So,
well, we do like to be home. Yeah.
What area? And again, this is just your opinion. If you're watching in this area, you don't be insulted. But what area are you finding in the country that is really hurting for Christ?
Well, I mean, everywhere you go, we sing in a lot of rehab centers and rescue missions and things like that. And everywhere you go, people say things like meth is a real problem here. Mm-hmm. It's a real problem everywhere. I mean, America is hurting, and that is why we are doing what we're doing. So, I mean, when you go out west, you discover that you really aren't in the Bible Belt anymore, and that people don't have the heritage of the Christianity that the East Coast has had. So you're really starting from a whole different position where on the East Coast you're more calling people back to something. In the West, in a lot of ways, you're introducing something.
It's brand new. Though.
Yeah, I mean, it's America. We still have like
exactly.
a wide, there are churches everywhere, but it's not, people don't have that heritage.
Yeah.
And so it is a different experience to go out west.
Yeah.
I don't feel as safe in that regard because it doesn't feel as home.
Right.
Like at home. It's
right.
probably
It's out
just
of
a
your
feeling.
comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just not as familiar. Like you can count on certain things in this part of our country, as far as the way people respond and what they will value and things like that are not the same.
Well, in those areas, of course, people are hurting, and so they're and hungry for the gospel, so they're receiving it. But how is your music received? Is it received differently in different areas of the country, or?
Yeah, I think our music it's unique in that my kids are playing, but really, everywhere we go, the most important thing that stands out to people is family. You know, it's really not the music. I mean, the music, people do enjoy the music. I enjoy the music. I believe there's power in worship completely. But it's when they see the family, especially when we're going into places where people are aware of their brokenness. And they're a rehab center because they want to get their life back and they want to get their family back. And now they see this family together traveling, worshiping Jesus together, and it really is very powerful. And that's what people want. You know, they want family. They want to be home. They want mom and dad together, loving them. You know. Yeah. So.
Well, we've heard your music tonight, but the podcast is it's new to me at least. So tell us about how that's going and how'd you get started doing that with your wife?
Yeah, I when my dad passed away when I was 23. He was he was the spiritual leader of our family, and I led worship, but I felt this burden to know more theologically. And as I did that, I learned a whole bunch of things, more than I ever expected. There's a lot of deconstruction in my soul, and this is part of the reconstruction of kind of stripping away. I don't really know anything about Jesus. Let's start from scratch, and it's been a great journey, and I really believe it's a major part of what we do, because my passion is to see the West wake up to its potential. You know, that sleeping giant, that Jesus is calling us to something, and the gospel is better news than people believe it is.
Exactly.
And so the podcast, we do that by walking through the Bible and talking about specific passages really slowly. Like, we're not trying to rush in it, but really just take it slowly and step by step, so someone who's never known anything about the Bible can come in and say, oh, that's interesting. Let me hear more. And then we have people like Michael, who's on here today, come and share their testimony. And we want, at the end of it, when you hear it, you say, Jesus is alive. He's not an idea. He's not a philosophy. He's a reality. And so where can I find that reality? You know, as Michael said today, we want to not only provide the mental capability of experiencing the reality of Jesus, but the reason we travel across the country is because we want to embody faith in Jesus. We're kind of doing a crazy thing, because I don't have a job. We drive across the country with 6 kids. We don't even know where we're going sometimes. You know, and crazy. We want people to know that's because Jesus is with us. He's not dead. You know. Yeah.
Well, how can people? What's the podcast called?
It's called The Gospel for Planet Earth. And you can also just look it up by my name, Karl Gessler, Karl with a K. Yeah. And it's on any podcast platform. Yeah.
Awesome. I love podcasts. I have to mow a lot of grass. And so earbuds in, and I can zone out mowing grass for hours listening to podcasts.
Me too. I'm the same way.
That's awesome. So, well, your album, put that album on the screen, y'all. I want to see that with all your beautiful family. Is this the latest album, I guess?
This is our YouTube channel cover.
Awesome.
So as we travel around, we started vlogging a year ago so that people can join with us. So they're welcome to check that out. we are in the middle of a recording project
Okay.
that will feature the kids for the first time. It's not done yet, and the timetable on it is not clear, so I can't make any announcement on that other than it's in process.
Keep checking the website for that.
If you stay connected with the vlog, you will be kept up to date with that.
So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you got it all, of course. So that's cool. Y'all are documenting everything, and people can check it out where all you've been then. So is all about 47 states on the you got video from all over the place?
No, that's been over 10 years. So we just started vlogging for a year.
Okay.
And it's been an exciting thing. It's a lot of work to do all that stuff, but it's very rewarding too.
Yeah, we got a YouTube channel, of course, but this is easy because we're making TV. You just upload it, and I keep telling them, let's start a podcast. Let's start. And they're like, what do you want to put? And I'm like, well, just take the audio from these shows, strip it out, there's your podcast. And they're telling me it doesn't work that way. So I got to dig into this podcast stuff a little bit more. So, yeah. But so Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything, your website, karlgessler.com. They can get your albums on there. They can follow you as far as your tour dates and everything.
They can get a free download of our latest album, my latest album, when you sign up with your email on the website. So.
Awesome. Well, we're going to let you go sing us out tonight. What song are you going to be doing next?
This is a Keith Green song. This is the Easter song. So this is a miracle of God because I never thought I'd be able to do this. And just praise the Lord that He gives us the desires of our heart. So.
Awesome. Well, Karl, thank you so much for being
Dante.
here, brother. We'll let you sneak over there and get ready. And while he gets ready, we just got a few more minutes. Like I said, Karl's about to sing us out. So go to the phones right now and get your prayer requests in, 244-1616. Of course, I want to thank Karl for being here. And again, his website, karlgessler.com. And also, I want to thank Pastor Michael Titus for being here, and his email, michael.jlife@gmail.com. Also, you can find Pastor Titus on Facebook, and keep Tanzania in your prayers. Keep Karl in your prayers. Keep me in your prayers. So we'll keep you in our prayers as well. But right now, we're going to go to Karl Gessler as he sings us out. Have a good night.
Ringing, they're singing that we can be born again. Hear the bells ringing, they're singing, Christ is risen from the dead. The angels upon the tombstone said He is risen just as He said. Quickly now, go tell His disciples, Jesus Christ is no longer dead. Joy to the world, He is risen. Hallelujah, He's risen. Hallelujah, He's risen. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hear the bells ringing, they're singing that we can be healed right now. Ringing, they're singing, Christ, He will reveal it now. The angels, they all surround us. They are ministering Jesus' power. Quickly now, reach out and receive it, for this could be your glorious hour.